Hey, welcome back to the Virgo channel. My name is Laura, and I'm going to do a general message for Virgo. Know that energy is fluid, roles can be reversed. Always interpret the message as it best resonates with you. Now, if you're new to my channel, know that I like to go deep. So that just means that I like to look at everything, which means that I look at the spiritual wounds, the shadows, and we see how they play out as karmic themes within your experience to help you understand why things are unfolding the way that they are. Now, I find that they're very healing. Now, if you want to enter into winning a free reading with me, you got to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and write the word of the video in your comment bar. The word of the video is always the first word out that tells me why everyone's doing what they're doing. Okay, so let's see what that word is. I'm going to jump right on in. It's been a few days since I've been off. I was away, and I actually did do a video that I didn't post because I had to do it in the lobby of the hotel. And of course, it was so loud that I just was like, I might still post it because it was a good video, but like I said, you're going to hear a lot of like background noise. So. But my husband was sleeping, and right now with his condition, it's important that he gets rest. Okay, the underlining energy is attachment. Attachment. I believe that you're in a connection with someone that knows how to be in an attachment, doesn't actually know how to be in a relationship. And attachments are always created from toxic behavior. You have an insecure person that doesn't know how to be emotionally vulnerable. And so what happens is that they tend to try to like connect to somebody, but they knock that person down continually. And they knock that person down continually because, first of all, it's what was done to them. That person is like stuck in their trauma. And it's where they, again, when they get triggered, that behaviorism that they were taught because it was done to them, they do. And so that's number one. And then number two, it's like they they seek out relationships that they get away with this type of behavior too. So attachment is again not built on unconditional love. It's based on what can you do for me? What can you do for me? And obviously, no one wants to do for anyone forever. And so it's usually done in a very manipulative way, in a very um like in a very manipulative way is the best way that I can explain it, where you're being gaslit, you're being like right from the get-go. You're just not seeing it because from the outside, you're focused on something else. And it's usually what you're lacking in, what you feel limited in. Because again, people that feel fulfilled within themselves, people that feel strong within themselves, they don't form attachments. Is why? Because again, attachments requires you to give a lot of your energy to it. It's like it's because that person forms the attachment to actually drain your energy. And is this a conscious thing? No, they're not awake. They just know that their life isn't working. They perceive you to be a source of energy. And yes, you're attractive to them. There's some spiritual element there. However, it's not a divine. And again, divine, there's unconditional love. I just love you regardless. Attachment is I love you, but there's these rules and regulations that need to be abided by. And it's in order for me to sustain. So again, attachment, which creates a lot of imbalances just in general because you're dealing with someone that is imbalanced. Again, that's what disequilibrium is. Disequilibrium is a person that isn't coming from their true sense of self. They're coming more from a mask. So it's again, they're imbalanced. Because they're always in their mind, they're always strategizing, they're always trying to figure out the next move. And it's almost like this person has like a need to fulfill themselves, a constant need to fill. Like it just almost feel like somebody that needs to be fed and needs to be fed by, like, again, taking your energy. And if they don't get it, there's resentment. And the reason why is because this person has major abandonment issues, but also understand that they'll being in a relationship with them, this person would definitely awaken your abandonment issues. And it's because they emotionally can't show up. They emotionally can't show up because they're so imbalanced that they're disassociated. Disassociated is where they know what experiences has transpired, but they don't have a feeling or emotion towards what is going on. So they don't know what they feel. And so, like you said, they don't create good relationships because attachments don't create good relationships. Attachments create toxic ones that are built on a constant cycle of drama and draining. Like there's always a problem, there's always an issue. The person always sees things from the perception of that you're attacking them, that you're making them feel as if there's something wrong with them. It's because they actually feel a limitation, they actually feel a lack, which is why they deliberately try to form these attachments. And attachments could be that the relationship was more sexual, it was more based on other things. They were based not on true love. Now, you might have said, well, on my end, it was true love, but the person wasn't capable that you connected to actually give you that. Is what this little energy is telling us here right now, that you were dealing with somebody that is really imbalanced, and it's because they're really resentful because they don't know how to make their life work. So the way that they try to make their life work is to control their life, to not be in their feels. But again, we can't be in a relationship with a person that's like that. And the reason why is because you never know what you're going to get. This is based on the person's mood, and the person's mood is based on their trauma because they're not really present. They're always seeing things and reacting from the place of the wound. So it's like you won't really get anywhere. And then you're like, how come this person isn't affected? Like they do all this mean shit to me and they're not like affected. It's like I thought I knew this person. This person is detached. Disassociated means that they know, but they don't know, and they're not awake. And people that aren't awake, they stay in a victim state consciousness. So everything is happening to them. They don't realize that they're not awake to the behaviors, to the habits, to the things that they do to sabotage their relationship, which is why they stay in a place of imbalance and resentment, and why they again think that they need to control the relationship by forming an attachment. Is it a conscious thing? No, this person just knows that they feel like they don't really fit in anywhere. And it's because they're detached and disassociated. How do you feel that you fit in with anyone? Well, it's again, you're grounded and you're interconnected to, you know, situations and experiences that are going to help connect you to different people. This person is stuck in their trauma. So again, they feel like there's something wrong with them. And so feeling like there's something wrong with you, you're never going to form good relationships because you have to have somewhat of an open heart. And then it's like you try and have a conversation with the person and they are just don't want to hear anything about it. They're gonna deflect it, they're gonna project it, they're gonna twist it around. And they're also gonna be resentful because it's like you're just one more person that it doesn't work out with. So they already knew this, so why should I even bother? And it's again, I'm in the victim state. And it's again, and that is really kind of like dramatic. I think you see it as dramatic, or that they make it dramatic, but again, which is a form of drama, and drama to keep it up and to not really look at what needs to be healed, what needs to be. This person wants to come in and like manipulate the relationship. So that means that you wouldn't even be allowed to have a personality. You wouldn't be able to have a want, a need, a desire. Because attachment is again more or less what this person needs from you. It's like they're not really looking and seeing what you need from them. And that's, again, attachments are always formed from like the ego, from a place of the person's limitations, what they feel. So again, they're attracted to you because they see something within you that they don't have and something that they desperately want. So can you feel that this person is jealous? This person could be very jealous of you. And the reason why is because you seem like your life is just better. Your frame of mind is better. So of course your life looks better. It's it's again, this person can't be in a relationship because I feel like they grew up in an environment that somebody was just so negative and always gaslighting them and always making them feel this way. I mean, that so they are like almost like programmed to see everything from a glass is like half empty standpoint. Like I knew it wasn't going to work. I'm the victim. And in that, they don't look at their life. It's like, again, creating drama for control. And that's what I'm saying. And it's control, but it's also so I don't have to look at, I can seem rebellious. And rebellious is a much better persona than being vulnerable and being rejected because you're not going to think that there's something wrong with me because I think that there's something wrong with me. I'm flawed. And I like an element that you have. I might pretend to have that element, but I don't feel secure in it. And that element could be good with people, being able to connect on a deep, intimate level and have real rich experiences, fulfilling experiences. I feel like you're connected to someone that kind of is boring, that doesn't really have an identity. It doesn't mean that they don't have a job. It means that your life is every day, it's literally Groundhog's Day, where you go to work and you come home and it's like everything is consistent but boring. So then what's underneath that drama is a lot of addictive behavior, a lot of because it's boring. Life is boring. So it's escapism, it's avoidance. So again, and when obviously if a person is avoiding and they're not showing up for you, well, then it creates a lot of drama. So you may say that they don't scream and yell. If anything, I'm the one that screams and yells. Well, it's again, inevitably they know what they do. They know that they're not going to show up, but then the focus is on that instead of, again, your reaction instead of what really needs to be healed. And that's like gets you back to a place of, well, I do love this person because there is love and caring, but this person needs a lot of healing because it's like you can't be with a person that's going to be jealous of you and want to be like have those elements of them to the point that it's not who you are that they care about, it's what you do, and it's like other things. It's again blind spot. So it's again caught up in the whirlwinds. And that's what I'm saying. I feel like this person is like sees you for not as 100% a person, and it sees you as like someone that could be a savior, someone that could be a fix-it, someone that doesn't need anything, someone that's so strong, someone that, and here this person is, they're not emotionally intelligent, so they don't know how to be or how to do anything. And so there's a sense that they either look at people from you're beneath me or they look at people as you're above me. They never look at people from an eye to eye. And I feel like because this was a soul's connection, you got into this connection where there was a blind spot for you too, because you're like, I feel a deep connection. There is an unconditional love. There is a want and a desire to work things out, to want to be together. But then you're not looking at like the fact that this person wasn't doing any work. They weren't showing up for themselves. And that's why, like, it always winds up in ruins. It always winds up in ruins because the foundation is weak. This person's foundation is weak. They're not strong within themselves. And that it has nothing to do with love. It has to do with what this person feels about themselves. However, being in a relationship with them is damn well next to impossible because they'll have there's a lot of narcissistic energy. When a person's only coming from their wounds, they're not thinking about anyone else. They're actually in a survival-based consciousness where they're like, again, that shouldn't have happened. They're in a place of resentment, they're in a place of anger, because again, what they perceived what their life was going to be wasn't, because this person has self-sabotaging behaviorisms. They get in their own way. And they get in their own way because they have a lot of unhealed stuff and they didn't want to look at it. So I feel like, again, your person like forms these attachments, and I don't feel like you just allowed that to happen. So because you didn't allow that to happen, this person doesn't really know how to be in a relationship. And it's almost this relationship is so profound for them because there is a deep feeling of unconditional love, but there's also so much anger. And there's so much anger because what when you show up to this person, you're making them look at themselves and they don't like who they are. It's again, they're attracted to you because they like who you are. And so there's this weird element that they didn't need to like become like who they need to be by incorporating like higher consciousness characteristics into this person's life. They didn't think of that. Instead, they thought, well, I'm going to be with a person that I perceive has that, and then people will identify me with them. And so, but the truth of the matter is, they weren't never looking at you saying, well, I want to be with somebody that actually matches my character. And almost as if because you were too good or that you wouldn't see it, they saw it like almost as a weakness when it's not a weakness. Is that you have a spiritual gift, and that spiritual gift is the fact that there is unconditional love. However, you don't form attachments. So, like I said, but you also saw this person a little bit for who you wanted to see them as, and not really for who they truly are. If I have to be honest with you, like that is where you didn't listen to yourself because again, you're a soulmate. There's a sense of being together and a sense of knowing that this person does love you and that you love them. And so even though when there's problems, they avoid, they don't want to look at them. They want to deflect. They want to run away from them. It's again, and that is what made you feel like powerless a lot because you're like, what can I do? I can force you to be in a relationship. But there it was also expectations on both parties. And that's what Ace was saying when attachments are forms again of expectations. That's what really attachments are. It's that I'm hoping, or I see you have elements that of traits that I would like to have. I want to again be with you so people associate those traits with me. And I also, and you want something from me. And that might be love. You might say, yeah, I wanted love. But even love would be an attachment if you say, I need to have love from you. That's the attachment. And a lot of times, these karmic relationships are that. It's that, it's like, I want you, but I want you my way. And it's like, and I can see that it can happen my way. However, when we have expectations, we're always let down. And then that's what creates the resentment, to be honest with you. That's what throws us out of balance because then we ruminate on, like, again, why. We actually see it as betrayal a lot of times, like when that person. So, and then what happens is that, this person sees you because you try to explain yourself. Or you try to like, you must have said a few times that you don't understand, or let me explain to you how I feel, almost like that they don't know, and they do know. It's just their love language, the way that they deal with stress, the way that they is not the way that you do, or it's not even an acceptable way that you believe a lot of times. And that's why this person says, I felt like you were treating me like a child, like you tell me what to do, like feeling like you're scolding them or controlling them or manipulating them when really this has nothing to do with that. This has to do with that you want to make sure that your needs are being met and that this person can continually doesn't look at any of your needs, doesn't take your needs into consideration. And I think in the beginning what it was you assume that they just didn't see, so you were trying to explain instead of realizing that they knew the whole time. And that's the hard pill to swallow. It's again that you knew, but you're going to like treat me as if and then when I again really hold your feet to the fire, you're gonna lie to me. It's like it's so there's a sense of not really knowing who you're dealing with. And it's like, well, you don't know who you're dealing with because this person doesn't know who they are. Not again, they perceive everybody judges them. They perceive that no one likes them. They perceive that everything that you say that you're judging them. Again, not allowing them to have their process. It's the expectation that messes this person up. It's like the expectation of you needing me to show up for you creates self-sabotaging behavior. However, they're the ones that form the attachment, and they form it where you obviously would be powerless, not have any say or anything, because again, there is love there. It's like, so this person wants to have love, but they want to have it their way. And they almost feel like, well, you should go along with it. You should know everything because, we're soulmates. And like I said, I feel like you knew that you guys were soulmates, but that was a little bit of a blind spot for you because in that connection, I feel like you ignored certain things, like the fact that this person's avoidant. They don't want to look at things. They're detached. Being disassociated because you've been abandoned, right? Winds up bringing you to a place all the time of anger and resentment, but also where's that card that I want to say is always like attachment because this person again hasn't formed enough of themselves to really understand uh, that it's not somebody else that they need, it's they need to work on themselves. And so, like I said, I just feel like this connection, it's like it would start, and then it would stop, and it would start and then stop and start and stop. And it was like the constant back and forth because there is a sense of love. You said, person feels that you're their soulmate, but what you're expected to put up with is is all this craziness, which you wouldn't be able to do that because staying connected to someone that is that imbalanced makes you imbalanced, makes a relationship imbalanced. And so we have to say, is this person ever going to get help? Is this person going to, like, what are they going to do if they're going to do anything? And or what are they thinking? Are they thinking something? I mean, sometimes these relationships obviously or don't bring just healing to one person, bring healing to everybody. So what's happening to this person? Because what we see is it's again, I'm conflicted about whether I have what it takes to be your partner. And that's really what the imbalance is. And this is actually with the attachment. It's again because I perceive you better than me. And the reason why is because I have abandonment issues. So I have expectations that need to be met. But I also, have this issue where I believe that I be judged over everything that I say. And it's really because I haven't healed. The disassociation is that. So I stay in like lies, and for a long time I would just project, and self-righteous is just that is project. But what this person is saying is like right now, um, is making them look at themselves, like I said, which needs to happen. So again, look, our inner children need to come first. This person is making them do inner child work. And now, do they know that they're doing inner child work? I don't know whether they actually know. My itchy, sorry. I don't know whether they know that that's what they're leading to do, but nevertheless. It's again, love like ours can change the world. So, and don't get me wrong, again, not a love that this person does love you, but I think that it's making them again look again, like knowing that the universe works in mysterious ways, but they judge this situation a lot because again, it's making them change a lot. And they don't, it's again, uncomfortable changes. I want to hold you in my arms and feel our bodies unite. Well, I mean, this is obvious. Like, I mean, passion. Why do we do anything? We wouldn't change. There has to be that fiery passion. That fiery passion is what helps us transmute those spiritual blocks that again, that are our shadows, that are our downfalls. We wouldn't volunteer. Our relationships are supposed to do so much more than what we perceive that they do. If you're with the right person, they're supposed to make you step into the best version of yourself. But by you yourself becoming that best version of yourself, because you want to be the best version of yourself for a person. But we wouldn't obviously want to do that if there wasn't passion. So it's, again, would have to be. You think I'm not listening to you, but I am. I hear everything you say and even replay our conversations in my head. I just don't say anything about it. I just pretend that I don't care because I'm not really emotionally intelligent. So I don't want to be vulnerable because, again, I have fear of abandonment. So this is the way that I protect myself. I act like I care. But I feel like this person is actually really soft. Two came out, so we're going to take it. I feel your energy around me, and I wonder, are you thinking of me too? And I feel like I don't deserve your love. I'm worried you'll leave me when you see who I really am. This person doesn't like themselves. Again, that which we said, why? So the fear of abandonment. So what it is they refuse to get close to you because they're like, I don't like me. So I think that you won't like me. They perceive you to be someone that I don't really believe that 100% you are. It's that they perceive you to be, again, everything that they're not. They were like put you a little bit on a pedestal. And that's because of, again, whatever you are showing people. Is that, and I feel like you're someone that's very interactive in life. And they see that people like you. And because this person feels out of tune, they don't feel like they fit in anywhere, they're their own issue. They're the person that's getting in their own way, but they project that onto you. They have that jealousy streak, and that's what I was saying in the beginning, which is because this person has shadows and fear of abandonment. They feel like, again, you're just gonna hurt me too. So what I see here is it has nothing to do with love because it says there's love throughout this reading for as much as a person can love. Is that this person doesn't know how to be in a relationship, doesn't know how to feel safe in a relationship. When I say safe, I mean emotionally safe. They feel that there's something wrong with them, that they're so flawed that the moment that you see that, that you're going to leave and that they're going to be alone. We incarnated together to clear specific patterns from our ancestral bloodline. And that's what I was saying. It's about, the spiritual blocks that are like preventing you from actually having unconditional love, because you have to say, well, if this person has blocks to believing that they can actually have love, to the point that they create personas, they avoid, that they were a little disillusioned, believing again, oh, well, you're like my soulmate, so I can treat you however, and everything's going to be fine. And it's that it's, again, it's instead of taking the time to actually have the relationship, it's like when we ask, well, why wouldn't you do that? And instead of just wanting to have an attachment, I want to have an attachment to you because I love you. But that means I need to have everything my way. And it's like, that's really what they needed to clear, because they're not with you. They feel your energy around them because, again, that love, unconditional love, transcends time and space. It will never go. It's like, can it get tarnished? It can get tarnished. We can get really angry and hate the person and feel like we hate, but that's why they say there's a fine line between love and hate. And the actual, I know I hate that person. Well, guess what? You wouldn't feel anything if you didn't care. It's like that hate is the fact that I cared and you did this. So, and I'm still stuck in that energy. And that might mean what I believe that could have been, that I wanted it to be, that it had expectations. And the expectations is again what creates the attachment. And then when it comes up short, it becomes toxic because again, no one can become you. You can't take on that persona. You have to become yourself. So we see you're the person that needs a lot of healing, and we have to say, okay, so why did I attract that person into my life? Because it's like, I really, love this person. I really cared about this person. There is unconditional love there. I had a blind spot for them, for crying out loud. It's like, because you needed to learn certain things and you wouldn't have stuck around long enough. The relationship had impacted you so much that it needed to awaken certain things within inside of you. And that is like the wondering you. It's again being brought up in an environment where, guess what? You were told to who you were. Again, this person wanted love with attachments, meaning I love you, but things are going to be my way and it needs to fulfill these, whatever it is for me. But I'm not going to look at anything for you, which is if we grow up in an environment where we weren't allowed to go out and explore, well, we wouldn't know the wonders within the world. We wouldn't know the wonders within ourselves. So we wouldn't know what our gifts are. We wouldn't know what inspires us. We wouldn't know anything because we would be more in a survival mode of emotionally trying to please people that normally you can't please if they're not letting you go and explore life, if they're so demanding and controlling because they're coming from a place of fear. It's again, so this is again, this person wasn't giving you anything, nothing is what I say. They wanted to have you, but they wanted to have you their way. So you removed yourself. And when again, the wonder that you invested was within yourself. It's like the wonder is in the world that inspire me, that call to me, that I, don't just learn about what it is that I'm putting my time towards, but I'm learning about myself. And again, sometimes we uncover gifts, which is optimistic, which is, well, even though it didn't work out with you, it's like, I don't know, you thought that I was going to be stuck on you forever and ever and ever and be miserable. It's like, I wasn't miserable. I'm actually very optimistic that I will meet someone else, that I have what it takes. You showed me that you are the person that is wounded. You are the person that your actions don't defy me, that your actions actually defy you, that I'm optimistic towards life because I actually know what I want, more about what I want now. But I feel like you always had a glasses half full mentality. I'm sorry, I have a tickle in my throat. So, you know, so that, like I said, uncovers a lot, especially if you're optimistic when you go out to explore what goes on in the world. again, to find the wonders in the world and you're optimistic about it, then doors open up for you. And I think that this is what this person admired so much about you, is the fact that you connect deep with people and they feel out of tune. They just feel like an odd duck. And they feel like an odd duck because of those traumas that need to be healed. But they watch that you're able to like make life happen. And I feel like that's starting to happen more and more for you, and that, being with this person, or trying to be with this person, I should say, um, and them not really ever letting you 100% in, it's like you detached because you were like, there's more out there. And this was the end, but you attracted this into your life because you've had that trauma. Now, whether that was you grew up in an environment where, again, the parents were overbearing, and understand it's not all the time because the person was mean. Sometimes it's just the person was fearful, the person was nervous, Sometimes it's just about that. And sometimes it has nothing to do with, it has to do with the intention is what we look at, and the intention that our parents did a lot of times was that they loved us and they did the best that they could. They just, were overbearing. They didn't trust, and that was because no one trusted them and they never really found who they are. So they would figure, well, how would you know who you are? If you come from me, you're not going to know any better. So, and not all the time does abuse come from physical abuse. But I feel for some of you, it did come from physical abuse. But some of it is just psychological and emotional abuse. And that's because it was stagnating to you. And that's if someone like emotionally manipulates you into continually changing the path. Like you say, I want to be a baseball player, and they say, no, you need to be a doctor. Like, and the dreams are knocked down repetitively. That could be a trauma, believe it or not, to the child's self. And the trauma is, again, well, this is what I want to do. And so the person's ego was continually broken down. No, you can't do it. No, you can't do it. No, you can't do it. So having to, bear that energy, also having a person like just not be able to show up for you could be seen as abuse. There's many different types of abuse. However, you wouldn't be able to attract this type of person into your life unless you experience that type of trauma, is why that's happened, and that you didn't integrate the spiritual lesson fully. And to integrate the spiritual lesson fully is to be able to actually go through the experience again and handle it the way that you did handle it. It meant that you needed to ground that a spiritual lesson, and the grounding of the spiritual lesson was to stay optimistic and to again continue to feed yourself and find the things that stir up your soul, because that's going to open up more doors for you, going to connect you to more people. So you maybe it's someone that's an influencer, or someone that is a salesman, someone that does something that when you go out into the world to discover your wonders, it's again, those are things that stir up your heart. That's when you become the highest vibration of unconditional love. That's really when you attract different people and situations into your life, like I said, that recreate you, that not just recreate you, but they transmute that old version of yourself that is where, again, you didn't emotionally get what you needed, or it could be, I know I was abused. I was in a relationship with someone that was very toxic, and that's abuse. When we're talking about abuse, we're talking psychologically and emotional abuse more than physical abuse, but physical abuse could be there. You could have grown up in an environment where there was physical abuse, and now you attract narcissistic people. Now you attract people that only want things from like their way, but it's because of the same wounds that you have. You're just not mirroring those wounds out the same way. They're not coming out the same way in your behaviorisms. It usually is that with a runner and a chaser, it's usually an avoidance style winds up with someone that's a little needy, emotionally needy, someone that didn't emotionally get what they needed. So they never felt like they were good enough. And they wind up with someone that's emotionally avoidant, that doesn't know how to express how they feel. And so again, they wind up staying in that energy of, because they recreated that experience due to the abuse, due to, again, so this is how we actually can also break those karmic cycles of, being with someone that is abusive, or having those abusive behaviorisms come out within us. And support, because there was a lack of support, and that support I associate with not just, financial support, but emotional support. And usually there was a lack of financial support too, because there were issues with the parents not being able to really afford, or certain things happened. So the foundation was weak. And when the foundation is weak, where it's support from mother and father, then what happens is that we're paying a lot of attention to trying to please mother and father, and we can never really please them because the wound isn't within us, it's actually within them to heal. We're, as children, supposed to be creating ourselves, finding ourselves, so that we find our tribe, so that we don't never feel like we're out of tune. So we build the basic skills to be able to communicate and be vulnerable and have friends without it becoming devastating. This is what I feel like your person was never allowed to really do. They were brought up by someone that was very overbearing. So now they have commitment issues, but they want to come in and form these attachments so that they can actually be in a relationship just their way, which is really domineering and really distorted. But this person's view of themselves is distorted. All through this reading, they are saying, I don't think I'm good enough for you. I don't think you're gonna like me. You're gonna get to know me. You're not gonna stick around. You're not gonna like me. No one sticks around. No one likes me. Because guess what? Down deep inside, I don't like myself. So how can you like me? So it has nothing to do with love. It has to do with the fact that this person needs to heal. However, it doesn't matter, because the karmic consequences are the same. So we have to say that it's a bummer, because like you said, the intention for this person is to care. It's just that that's the way that it's gonna look. And it's gonna look that way because it's what makes them feel safe until they actually do the healing. And then what is safe for them is really like imbalanced for anyone to live with, because it's, again, everything's their way. It's like there's no way with you. So we have to say again, is there any healing energy like that we can pull into this situation? What are we supposed to learn? We could get stuck with this situation. And then Spirit says, well, again, you passed the spiritual lesson again, which was to invest more time into yourself, to find the wonders within yourself, to find more wonders within the world to open up new doors for you. You're in the process of doing that. So, and this person is again paying for the karma because it's again, they would like to do the relationship. It's just, they're like, I don't think that I'm good enough for you. And it's like, I'm too scared. So again, we have to stay open to the universe. I'm discovering my worth and my abilities. I have confidence in my value and my potential. I reclaim my inner power. I accept and love myself completely. Thus, I am open to the divine light of the universe. So really, Spirit is saying, this is about you. It's like this person is like on a completely different vibration. It's like there's unconditional love, but they're on a different vibration. So they're not even close to like being able to heal because they have to heal themselves. They have to want to, first of all. And they are. It's starting to. Like again, they said their inner child healing, but they need a lot of healing. So what I'm saying is that would mean either you're going to accommodate that, which Spirit says that that's not what you're supposed to do. You need to be open to the universe because it goes back to again, it goes back to the wonders within you, meaning the wonders of what the universe brings again, which is I'm opening to the universe, like you're discovering your worth. And that's part of the test was, no, I'm not going to stay with you because again, you want things your way and that ignores my way. And that would be undervaluing myself. So that's why you passed the test because you said, I'm not doing that. And then, but then you're finding your abilities and gaining confidence in your abilities. You're finding your value in your through your potential. So you're still investing in yourself and to become strong and that you accept and love yourself completely because that's what you're learning to do, to become that energy of unconditional love and that you're open to the divine light of the universe to bring you everything that you need, but everything also that you desire. And what Spirit says is, well, I'm bringing you everything that you need so that once you clear yourself, I can bring you everything that you desire. And you're finding what those desires are right now. And you're also learning what they aren't. And this person really isn't. They have potential to again one day, but not right now. It's like I believe that this relationship has awakened them to like start to do the self-exploration to help them heal. Because eventually they're going to say, well, why do I feel like she wouldn't keep me in her life? If it's not you, it'll be someone else because that's a core belief that they have with whoever they're going to identify with unconditional love. That's not a reflection of you, of again, not being lovable. However, being that you grew up without the support, I could see how you would feel, no, well, it's again, it's a common theme within my life. That's a common theme because you don't know who you are. You're coming from that wound of how that parent treated you is still kind of playing out. The only difference is the more times that you say no to energies that come into your life that have absolutely nothing to offer, the universe stops bringing that because you are no longer a vibrational resonance to it. But there's always a space between what you know, what you reap to what you sow, what you sow to what you reap, right? And so you're in that process of like being in that space of, yes, that has happened in the past, but you put your faith in the universe and you do that by showing that, but through your actions, through continually finding yourself, growing yourself, and then the universe doesn't, like I say, just conspire to bring you things that are going to heal you, but bring you things that you need. Not need, but things that you're really going to love, but not, need and love. You're going to get everything that is here to support you. in knowing that you're loved is the best way that I should really phrase it. I'm going to leave that there, Virgo. I hope you resonated. I talk to you soon. Bye.